Hello, everybody. You put on the record. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos, and this is day number.
This is the 16th episode.
Or the 16th video from our
No.
quarantine
Yeah,
knitting.
16. This is Arne and Carlos quarantine knitting episode 16. What was it you were laughing about in the beginning of this video?
I didn't know that you started.
Okay, yeah. I pressed record before you noticed it. You may notice that today we are not dressed up in fancy shirts. Well,
It's Casual Friday.
It's Casual Friday, so we thought we'd be casual today, Friday. We know that a lot of. I mean, we have a good friend who is a banker, and she has to dress up for the office every day except Fridays. So we thought that we would replicate that at home. I think you said we are.
Your sweater is nice.
Yeah, I think I love your stripes.
Thank you.
So we did say that we are the hosts, Arne and Carlos, and all of that. I wasn't listening.
I did. I think I did. If not, we are still the hosts, Arne and Carlos.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, I had the coronavirus. I tested positive. I'm struggling with post-viral syndrome, and I do have issues focusing from time to time. So I feel a little bit confused now and then.
But so you haven't done much the last 24 hours then? You've been sleeping?
I had a wonderful nap. Both yesterday and today I had amazing, wonderful naps in our deck outdoors because the sun's out and it's warm. And it's great to finally be able to breathe air.
It's really nice outside because it's like... Yesterday it was 20 degrees. I haven't checked today, but it's really warm.
Yeah, 20 Celsius. So.
But then we still have snow in between.
A little bit
of an ice on the lake,
mm-hmm.
and there are plants popping up already.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice time.
Spring is most definitely here.
Yeah.
And
but the good thing, we don't have a lot of pollen because we're high up.
Yeah.
And that's good for you because you can't have.
Yeah, I'm allergic to pollen. So I'm glad that we don't have a lot of it here.
If this was in Oslo or somewhere, you couldn't sleep outside because of the pollen.
Yeah. So my report, if we're going to talk a little bit about the past 24 hours. So what do I have to report? Watch some TV in the evenings. And then I have, today I think I slept for 12 hours. I woke up at 10, didn't I?
I think, yeah.
And then I had a nap in the middle of the day out in the sofa. We went shopping for groceries. We can do that now that we don't have the virus anymore. So grocery shopping, that was an ordeal. I got really tired. So I had to have that nap in the afternoon. And now in the evening we are doing the podcast. That's what my day has been like. Oh, and then we've been doing, I've been kind of walking past the puzzle and putting something in.
Because you try to do the puzzle, but then you get dizzy of looking at it.
I get tired.
So you can place like 2 or 3. And I'll show you what we're making.
It's really difficult.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
That's the puzzle that we're doing now. Look at this. It's crazy difficult.
Yeah, it's only 1,000 pieces, but because it's drawn, and like the sky, for example, there's so much blue there that all the pieces look the same.
And there's like so much
detail
same going on. So it's
difficult.
This takes time, but it's fun. I don't know why. Suddenly, I think it's so fun with puzzles.
Yeah, we went into the bookstore today. Arne got a book after we went grocery shopping. And the book seller, who is a friend of ours, we always support our local bookstore. It's important to us. Anyway, he said that he'd been selling a lot of puzzles. And puzzle sales have been going up, up, up. And I don't think this is a trend only in Norway.
No, I think it's all over.
I think all over the place people are entertaining themselves with puzzles. I haven't started reading my book, the one that I was talking about yesterday. I think I'm going to do that this afternoon. It's so weird though. I mean, I sleep longer. I sleep like 12, 13 hours a day. Then I need to take naps. And so and then we watch some TV in the evening. So days really go by very quickly. But I can report that I am feeling better and better. And now I just woke up from my naps. I feel quite reinvigorated. So yeah, Arne, what else happened today? Did we get any exciting things?
No, I don't think so. No, but I have been writing some of my genealogy history
Oh, Arne's been working on that a
because
lot
I
lately.
like to work on that, and it's quite fun because there's so many names, and I go way back in time, and I've been googling some of the people, and sometimes I find interesting people.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. I know a lot about your genealogy because you keep talking about it all the time. But though, and I'm not. I mean, I'm not so interested in genealogy as Arne is, but it's still interesting to hear about the interesting people in your tree. And I was going to ask you, did you find anybody really interesting lately?
Yeah, I found my great grandfather's brother. He went to America, to Wisconsin, and he had a daughter, and the daughter had a son, and the son was one of the tallest men in the world. I think his name was Clifford Thompson.
And he was an actor.
He was also in a few Hollywood movies, so you can see him on YouTube. There are like clips, but he was like one of the tallest men in the world.
So what is he to you?
No, he's my father's third cousin.
Oh, so the tallest man in the world at the time is your father's third cousin?
Yeah.
So that's not very far removed, is it?
No, it's like my great-grandfather's brother's grandson.
Cool. Very cool,
so
yeah.
That's close.
Yeah, I think you told me about this.
I think that's cool. And then on my grandmother's side, on my father's side, I found the artist, which I Googled because there's a woman in America who made a web page for him. And he was one of the big artists in Montana. I think it's James Russell or something.
And yeah, you told me about him too, yeah. So nothing new for me,
nothing new for you.
But new for our viewers.
So I have some interesting people on my
That's really great.
Tree.
So let's do some knitting now. Let's get into the knitting. We have some fun things to show you today. Let's start with projects that we've been doing here ourselves.
This is for next Easter.
So we're doing massive Easter balls. Easter
eggs. For next Christmas.
I was saying to Arne, it's because we're getting older and it's difficult to see now. So we need to make everything in a bigger size.
But this is the wash and
filt sit
yarn. And I'm really into felting things at the moment. So I prepare things for the washing machine.
So these Easter eggs
are for next Easter.
These Easter eggs are going to be going in the washing machine.
And
you know what? They double as a nice pillow for when I feel when I feel like really tired. I can just rest here, which is great.
Or you can do the Star Wars.
Oh, like Princess Leia. Yeah, you could put them on one of those. You
can make a lot of them. Have them in your car, like an airbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but I'm working on a lot of this because we should have more Easter decorations.
Yeah, those are really, and this year Easter was cancelled because I was, and this year we hardly had Easter. I mean, Easter was cancelled. We had no Easter food because we couldn't shop, and Austra and Aldrus, our friends, went shopping for us. And we had no Easter because
He wasn't in the mood for Easter.
No, I was in bed, suffering for a long time. Anyway, we're looking forward now, not back.
Okay, but today I'm gonna show you how we sew those blocks together, the way we do it, and I'm gonna do it on the telephone. So I hope my hands are in the right place all the time.
Okay.
We'll see.
And in order to do that, you need to go to another room.
I go to another room, but first you can show...
I think, to be honest, while you do that today, I think I'm going to let you do it on your own. And I'm going to grab one of these, and I'm just going to, I'm going to find a place to put my head and rest for a few minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
So I can go and do it now, and then we come back.
Yeah. Do you want to do the magic thing?
The magic... Oh, yeah, this one. So these are some of the blocks sewn together, and you can see we use the dark blue, so we make a frame around the blocks. And now they are square, you see. So if they're not square, it's probably something in the steaming, or I don't know. something. And now when you sew them together, let's do the sides first. So when we sew the sides together, we work in the second line on the sides, the second line of stitches. So that's this line. So you have the pattern, the first line, and then the second line. And in the second line, we work under the outer leg, this one. And then the same on the other one. The second, so 1 and 2, so then it's this leg. That's the outer leg, the leg on the edge. So, and then you start in the third, which is the cast on. So 1, 2, 3, and all the way out to this one. That's the outer leg, and then you do the same on this one. So 1, 2, and 3, and then this one. So in the beginning, I just pull the yarn through like this. I can make a knot so I can sew it in later. That's the start, and then I come up. You can pick which one. You can pick which one you like if you want to come up in this one or the other one. But you need to come up somewhere just to have a starting point. Now you go to the second stitch and the outer leg. So that's this one and this one. So you pull the yarn through like this. You go back where it came from. So you make a stitch like a duplicate stitch or like a Kitchener. That was not where it came from. Do that over again. So that's more in this place. There, that's the first stitch. Then I come up in between those legs, like in the bottom of the stitch, just like the duplicate. The maskesting in Norwegian. And then the outer leg and the outer leg. Pull it through, go back down where it came from, and you made a new stitch. And don't pull too hard. You'd have to try to make them look more or less even, and more or less like the stitches on your block. Right, and then the outer leg, that's this one. Sometimes the stitches are smaller, because you knit back and forth, so sometimes they can be different, so be careful. So you just grab the right stitch. If not, you will come out with uneven stitches. So one more up like this, outer leg, pull. And I lost the needle, and then back like this. So if you think it's annoying that sometimes you can see the color, then you just pull it later when you finish, or you can go under like this and you hide it if you think it's a problem. Or if you think that's not enough, then you use a thicker yarn. So then you do this all the way up on the sides. When you do the top of the square, the cast off or the bind off, that's this one, together with the cast on, which is this way, you want smiling stitches. Then you sew in on the upper one, you sew in the third stitch from the pattern. So that is 1, 2, 3. That's this one. So all the stitches on this line, and this is the cast on. So a lot of people were discussing on the Facebook group that they never learned or heard that the cast on counted as a stitch. But now you will see why we count it as a stitch. And then on the top of the bind off, you go also in the third stitch, which is then under the bind off. So let's do a few stitches so you can see. This needle is good because it's not so sharp. If you have a sharper needle, you just use the head sometimes, then it's easier. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, so that's on this line, that line. So that's where I start, in the second row from the pattern and in the third stitch. Then you go to the third and the second, which is this one. So both legs on the second stitch from the stitch in the second line of stitches from the edge of the pattern and back in top of the first one. So then you have a stitch like this, and you go, I sew the tail later, and you go to the next stitch, which is this one, and then to the third again, this one. So like that. I have to tighten this up later. It's not so easy to sew up in the air. It's easier when I put it down. Like that. And then 1, 2, 3, so it's this line. So I do a few more and then you will see why we count the cast on as a needle. And if you don't count the cast on, you will have a different look. So, and again, you pull the stitches so they look kind of more or less the same. I tighten up the start after when I sew in the tail. So up in the third, under the bind off, pull, go under the legs on the third, or the first one of the three, which is the cast on. Like that. So now when you take a close look at this one, then you see now there's the edge of the pattern, and 1, 2, and 3. Then you have the sewing, then you have 1, 2, 3 to the edge of the pattern. That is why you have to count the cast on. And we only do long tail cast on. We don't know all the others. We heard there's something called the old Norwegian cast on, which I've never tried or heard about before or seen. So we just do the long tail. That's it. We're happy with it, and it works. So, but now you see why we count it. If you don't, you probably have 4 stitches before the pattern. But it's a free world. Do whatever you like, but this is how we do it, so now you know.
And we're back. I had a lovely nap while you 10-minute power nap while Arne was explaining it. So I don't know.
checked the video. I saw my hands were a little bit like
wobbly,
out of focus on this side, but then I tried to keep them in the right place. It's difficult, but now I hope you understand what we were doing.
Yeah. So
if not, we have a problem.
I have no idea what Arne has been saying to you guys, but I know it's all about joining.
I talked about you.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Oh, that's a secret.
Oh,
it's between me and them.
Yeah, okay. But I might actually watch this after it's been edited. Eric is going to edit this. as he always does.
Yeah.
So, and then also, since I presume, I don't know, but I presume you have talked about the joining, correct?
Yeah, I talked. That's why. Hello.
Yeah, I'm just assuming.
That's why I left.
Okay, good.
So now you have pictures of
Yeah,
people's work.
I did.
Let's look at.
While I was lying on the sofa this morning after I woke up at 10, I went and lied down on the sofa. I went into the quarantine knitting group to look at, what people have done with their squares, because some people are very impatient and they just couldn't wait until we got better. They went on and they did their thing.
I like it when people have the talk,
Yeah, I like that too. I like it when people do things.
What's that in English?
So it's not a criticism, on the contrary. No, I mean, they just are independent.
Yeah.
It's not a criticism, on the contrary. I like it that people have gone ahead and done their thing while we were sick because they couldn't wait. And Eric, as always, is going to help us. Eric is in Oslo, and he's not in quarantine either. But his kids are still at home, so he's still stuck with them. And he helps us with this.
Sounds like a problem.
Well, his kids are nice, so I think he's okay.
Stuck with them.
So anyway, let's start showing some screenshots. So Eric, we'll start with screenshot number 1, which is by Marley Battisen. Baltisen, sorry.
That's beautiful. Is it double knitted?
It looks like it, yeah. And she writes, and it's finished. I'm sorry. She apologizes probably for not waiting for us.
No, but that was beautiful.
But yeah, let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. Probably not. I don't know how to zoom from this computer. Oh, here. Let's see if we can see a small close-up of what it looks like.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So
she put them together in another way then.
Yeah, there's a visible knitted. It looks like she's knitted them together, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Somehow.
But that looks really nice.
But it's nice, and I love the little heart
yeah.
on the teddy bear, and I like the placements. I think the placement is nice. So
that's almost like the Comme des Garçons. There's a little heart.
Yeah.
But this is on a teddy bear, not a face.
So Marley decided to not do a pillow. I think that Marley's is going to be a little decorative hanging, maybe.
Yeah.
She could continue though, and do a blanket if she likes. It's not
really
so difficult.
Beautiful little piece.
Although she's done the edging around the throat.
It's finished.
But it's cute.
I like the
love it. Very nice.
Love.
Good work,
Beautiful.
Marley. Beautiful. I've got some really fun ones here.
Yeah.
This is from Lynn. Lynn Schuchman or Schutchman. She writes, I use my scrap yarns, and it was great to remember the other fine projects I had made with these yarns. Thank you for this activity. It has really made a difference. Hi from Kansas City.
Hello.
It means that Lynn has, while she's been doing this with her leftover yarn, she's been reminiscing of her projects.
Yeah. That's also very beautiful.
I like the Hug Me Later. I love the Hug Me Later in the center. Nice. I love. And I love the teddy as well. And the love on her pillow.
Yeah.
So I think it's 2 separate pillows.
I think it is. Or maybe it's the back and front. I don't know. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I love the leftover yarns because it makes it a little random. You're not kind of choosing. You're just putting it together. Very, very pretty.
Good work.
Good work, Lynn. Then we have.
So, it's fun to see this because I'm never on Facebook.
Yeah, you aren't. So
that is also very.
Yeah, this is screenshot number 3, and this is Ellen van der Poel, Dutch, I suppose.
Probably.
And she writes, and now the second cushion is ready. My hallway's pretty. I think everyone entering the house will find love and hope.
Oh, that's nice.
Join with the Ubuntu, what stands for brotherhood. Oh yeah, the decoration on the floor.
Oh, cool.
The Ubuntu, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Ellen has been a naughty girl. She's changed our Hug Me Later with hope.
Yeah, that's hope. But that's fine.
Oh,
we need hope.
I'm just kidding. Well, a little naughty.
A little naughty. No, that's nice.
It's very nice, yeah. I like the...
She wants a hug now.
She wants a hug now,
but
that's
be careful.
why. Be very careful, Ellen. I think right now social distancing is the
I
way
saw
to go.
saw on TV from. No, we have to look at this.
No, tell.
From was it from Italy? Because people are not supposed to hug each other and things. And this old lady said, "But we are Mediterranean people. We
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. We like to hug." It's
Yes.
like, so cool.
Yeah, that's
next
true.
one.
But anyway, Ellen, don't hug. You can do that later. That's why we did the patch, hug me later, so that we can kind of remind each other to wait, and then we can hug hard, and lots of people. But anyway, it's okay. We forgive you for changing
Well,
hug me later to
you
hope.
have a nice picture coming up.
Yes, I have screenshot number 4, which I really love. It's from Joke
Probably the
Schurman.
Netherlands.
Joke Schurman Nagel, I think also Dutch.
Maybe Dutch, yeah.
And she's done a project bag out of the patches.
That was really, really cool. And that's embroidery.
I don't know. It looks like embroidery, but it's difficult to see. I even tried zooming it, but I just can't see if it's embroidered or knitted. I think it's knitted, actually.
It's knitted. Now I can see it. Yeah.
I think it's
That's
knitted.
beautiful, and it's very...
It's very cool because it's lined.
Delft.
Yes, that's what I wanted
Very
to say.
Dutch.
It looks like Delft porcelain, kind of.
It's
And
beautiful.
the spacing between the squares is really nice.
Yeah.
And I love the lining. And I love the lining has a contrast fabric that is completely different to the outside. I love that.
That's a really good idea.
Fantastic project, Yuke. You've been very creative. And I think that this is the project of the, shall we say this is the project of the day?
Yeah.
Or of the year?
Or the year.
No, the month. Project of the month. Because this one here is amazing. And not even we thought of a project bag for the squares.
But that was beautiful.
Great idea. Congratulations, Yuke. Fantastic work. And I have a final one, which is not bad either. Beautiful. It's really good.
That's so beautiful.
This is the final screenshot, number 5, from Lisa Sands.
That is really nice also.
She's made a coverlet, I suppose.
A nice edging.
Great edging. I love the edging. Is it garter stitch or what is it?
It looks like garter stitch. Or is it rib?
Maybe it's just
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, again, the image
but
is...
it's really beautiful and I like the colors.
Okay.
No, it's garter stitch.
I think it's garter stitch. Yeah. Lovely colors. Again, very random. We're missing the hug me later. I don't know what's going on. Where is the hug me later?
Well, I don't know.
There's 2. Well, she's got 2. Oh, okay.
No, there's like...
There's 2.
3, 6, need 3. There's 2 missing.
2 missing, yeah. One of them is the hug me later. I don't know. People, maybe they didn't like the hug me later.
No.
But remember, peeps.
But then you can do hope.
Well.
Whatever.
But remember, the hug me later is just a reminder. We're in quarantine. We should show social distance and we shouldn't hug. But there will come a day when we will hug again. And that's why the hug me later is there. It should be a reminder of the good times to come. It is actually a message of hope. A very subtle message of hope.
Subtle message.
And I hope you'll add it in your next project, Lisa. So, Arne, that's pretty much what I brought out today.
And look at what's on my shoulder.
Oh, sun.
The sun.
We're getting the sun.
It's coming
now.
again.
Yeah. So it means that we have to. It means that we have to.
Like to play with the sun.
To do the final words.
Yeah. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to overdo it again, and I'm getting tired.
Don't do it.
Oh no, sorry, we forgot one thing.
What's that? Oh, the important thing. We have a new square.
We have a new square for you guys.
This one. And Carlos, you came up with a cool name.
Yeah, this is square number 16, and or 15 probably. I think it's 15. No, sorry. No. Let me think again. 18, 19. This is square number 20.
20. And it's, I said this is an ornament, and Carlos said no, it is
trellis.
Trellis.
So I think of it as that trellis, and then because it's spring, there's only a few flowers that have started to bloom inside the trellis.
In Norwegian, that's a espalier.
Yes. So square number 20 is a trellis. We're posting this on our blog. It's free for you to download and use in the knit-along. And Arne wants to continue designing new squares, and I'm not doing any design work right now. I'm just resting. So I said, whatever you want to do, I'm okay. So there will be 5 new squares, at least 5 new squares next week.
I can't stop. That's the problem.
Yeah, and you have to stay tuned because we are going to continue the Arne and Carlos quarantine knitting for another 5 days. So we're going to take a break tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we have our regular video, which was recorded before the corona epidemic. It's a video where I am going to be showing the Norwegian knits. So I know everybody loves Arne and everybody loves it when he shows it. So I just.
But everybody says when we do workshops that when you do it, they understand it. And when I do it too quick.
Well, anyway, we're different people, and I hope people will be a little kind to me this weekend.
No, it's your way, Carl.
Yeah, please be kind.
And if people are not kind, don't read it. Because we have other things to worry about right now.
Yeah. Oh, I have a lot of.
You have a lot of things to worry about, so why should you care about that?
So anyway, break on Saturday. Then the episode. I'm dreading the episode on Sunday. I hope that people do like it though, which is me showing the Norwegian knit. And then on Monday we resume the quarantine podcast and the knit along. So we look forward to having you as our guests here on our channel again next week. Arne, please.
So if you like our videos, you can put your thumb up, and if you don't, you put them down. Or and remember to put on your notification, because then you get a message every time there's a new video out. And please subscribe.
Yeah, well, and remember that the reason you're putting the notifications on so that you never miss an episode.
So you never miss an episode. Yesterday I was so good on this.
You were fantastic, but I think you were pretty good today too.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and let's see you again on Sunday for a pre-recorded, pre-corona video, and next week for the continuation of our quarantine podcast.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Nå ser jeg bare det.
Hva?
Den er opp. Så bare hugget ditt.
Oh, sorry. Arne said that we could only see my head. I'm not good at this, so...
But look at this, and the light.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's gone.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry.